Okay. Hopefully this is working now. You're alive. Okay. You'll have to bear with me a moment. My computer needed to reset a few settings because YouTube doesn't let me stream in low quality anymore. But, oh, that looks so bad. It's going to be super jumpy, isn't it? So let's just do a quick test. I know there's an insane lag. Oh, it's quite jumpy. Oh well, YouTube won't let me stream at any lower quality, which is quite funny really. So, I believe the chat is in a pop-up section for me. So keep an eye. And apparently the stream is quote-unquote fine. Definitely not fine. Right, okay. Don't need that. So I just popped a little message in the chat just to say I recognise that it's going to be. Is that the microphone that's plugged in? 1 2 1 2? No, maybe? I don't know. Train wreck. Well, we all knew this was going to happen getting back into it. So, anyway, what am I doing? I am working on some Imperial Militia. I'm also just going to put my speakers on, because I like a little bit of light music in the background. And they can copyright claim me as much as I like, because I don't make money off these videos anyway. So. Whoa. There we go. And we're off. Right, okay, so I'll do an hour from now. Assuming this stream is not super tragically bad. Stream health is yellow. Right, what am I working on? Sentinels. Sentinels is what I'm working on, so. What am I doing? Alright, yeah, sticking the bodies in. The reason I've got a toothpick is because I'm using this Gorilla Glue, and the top is completely glued up, so kind of just using the toothpick as an applicator. Let me know how absolutely horrendous the stream lag actually is, because it's really that bad. I'll just have to refigure a few things out for the next time I do it. But if it's passable, we'll leave it. Callum, that'll do cross. That's pretty much my motto. Right. I'm a very bad person for painting. I am just too lazy. Right. Well, not painting in general, but in terms of improvement. That being said, got myself my first painting course booked in, so that's exciting. And I am actually really looking forward to that as well. Right, pilots are in. So what I've done is I've done these two as sub-assemblies, Where's my bin box? Right, so what I've done is I've sub-assembled my Sentinels. As you can see, all the canapes are off, and the body elements are over here, and obviously the leg elements and the body elements are all separate. And I did paint the dudes that were in it separately as well, but they're finished now, so they were ready to be put in the appropriate cabs, and I've had a lot of fun, I'm not going to lie. So this is sort of I've got a new light, which helps with the painting a lot, but this is the sort of what I'm going for base-wise for one of them. You can see there's a nice little flag. We're making good progress, the metallics are done, I'm adding details now. There's his buddy. And then both cabs, they still need a bit of tidy up work, but I've been painting rivets today, which was super exciting, riveting you might say. And so I'm trying to get both of them up to a point where I can stick the cabs on by the end of the day and have them pretty much ready to go. That's the hope anyway, by the end of the day, pretty much have them done. So, in order to achieve that, we've got quite a bit of work to do on the actual main cabs. So let's crack on with that. Once I figure out what I want to paint next. Right. Let's get a light blue. What is YouTube saying? Is YouTube still angry doggo? Probably. He really doesn't like me streaming. But apparently I've not dropped any frames according to XSplit, so my computer's handling it just fine, which is good news, because that means I'll be able to record videos at least. Maybe it's just a case of absolutely shocking internets. Right, so what I'm doing now is I'm just adding some sort of light colours for like buttons and stuff. Right, so why am I streaming again? Well, obviously I've neglected the YouTube channel for the entirety of this year and the last couple, and I thought I really enjoy it. I keep saying I'm going to get back into it. Live streaming is the easiest way for me to get back into it because it doesn't require any editing, and editing is the one thing I don't enjoy. I love making the videos, I love chatting about the hobby, I love complaining, but editing isn't for me. It's just not fun. Right, well, I'm going to put this. I'll put it on a light stand for now, because that's not dangerous. Putting water on a light stand. Right. And so anyway, yes, like I was saying, it was something I wanted to do and sort of get back into a bit more, and I do find it really fun. I do find the community element fun. I find it's really good for logging my stuff. So the number of times I've gone back to look at hobby stuff I've done, I just thought, oh, when did I do that? Or, oh, do you remember that army I did years ago or whatever? It's nice to have it all logged. And after neglecting the channel entirely for quite a while, I figured it'd be nice to sort of get back into it. Now, live streaming might not be the future of the channel, because I know that my internet seems to not enjoy it very much at all. And obviously you need concurrent viewers if you're going to live stream properly, so you need to get into a rhythm of when you're going to do it. And at the moment I can't guarantee that just yet, so I'm kind of just playing around with the idea at the moment, sort of how I want to go forward with it. But it's a nice easy in for me. That's the thing, that's what I do like about it. It is a really easy in. Agree now, because I can just get back into it by dicking about. This is just an hour of me talking. Now, this won't be my regular slot for live streaming if I do end up having a regular slot, that is. I do work half days on Fridays, which is amazing. Well, I can work half days on Fridays, I should say, not do. But I think I'd rather have it on like a different weekday, just to give myself something to look forward to in that weekday. So maybe like a Thursday evening, because I know I've got a half day on Friday, so I can do a little bit more fun stuff on Thursday. So maybe a Thursday evening sort of regular slot would be quite a nice idea. We will see. As for other videos, thinking small start, like, you know, once a week sort of job. At the moment, that's sort of my personal target. Maybe have an upload day, pick a day, I don't know, Saturday or something. And use Instagram as well, because my Instagram's died off as well. I've not been really paying it much attention. Shit. So, hopefully, start to use them all together. Because I do enjoy that sort of communication element that you get from this hobby. And it would be a shame to sort of waste having the access to it, like I do. Now hopefully this lamp has also opened up an opportunity for me to do better video quality as well, because I can do proper showcases and videos, because I figured out that I've been running my computer on half speed since I got it, in an attempt to save battery, which is me just being a fucking idiot really, isn't it? To be honest. So yeah, that's the idea. Do a bit more stuff. Cam's going to do more stuff. When have I ever said that and not followed through? Long time viewers of the channel will know that is a yearly occurrence. Right, so I'm just going to paint in the what I assume to be like an Auspex control sort of mapping thing. I can't think of a better use for it, so that's how I'm painting them. Anyway, this militia. So this militia is something very different for myself. It's obviously heresy, Imperial militia, rather than cults. They are loyalist through and through. And I have gone balls to the wall with their fluff. Like I've written a red book sort of style. I'm writing a red book thing for them. So their units are going to have different names for me. So these will be, I don't know, I'll come up with something clever. Probably something like Sentinel stuff. But for example, I've got arquebusiers, right? So they're my long-range riflemen, and they're all combinations of the Empire parts and Mechanicum bits, like the Mechanicum long rifles. I'll go grab one actually. Okay, somewhat ad hoc showing, but that's fine. Let me just make sure I have control over the focus. Shit. Right, here we go. Now I've got control over the focus bar. Oh. Right, let me just adjust where the light's pointing so you can see the guy. Wow, this is going to take some getting used to, I'll tell you. I think you get the idea, even if I'm doing an absolutely horrendous job of showcasing this guy. Unless I do this. Oh, jeez. There you go, that's the gist. The gist has been given. They're arquebusiers. Very much inspired by Medieval Total War. An absolutely fantastic game, naturally. Oh, there we go. Right, back on track. Back to where I was. Anyway, this militia lot. That's what I'm doing. There's the long and short of it. Hence why you'll see these cabin guys. This one's got a very knightly looking helmet. And this one has a feather in his cap. So, this isn't really for showcasing, this is just me mucking about. I should be focusing. But I went for green to dry. So. Yeah, I'm enjoying how they're coming together. They've been really fun to paint. This is my first attempt at actually masking panels off, so there's a super light green for these two panels that match the cloaks. That will be weathered down again. but I want to get them to a point where I can just sort of add weathering elements. That's where I want to be, because I'm going to go out and get some proper other weathery bits. Super instructional this. Oh, excuse me. I gotta say, it's nice to sort of be doing something formal again with it. I used to love making videos all the time. Ooh, CPU usage 100%. Whew. My poor computer. Hopefully the sound quality is alright as well. I haven't thought about that. I guess this is a trial stream. It's very quickly become one. Right, that's the green down. That is the green down. Right. What's next? Still don't know how I'm going to use hunter killer missiles yet. I'm very much painting these as I go along. And there are a couple of forethought, a little bit of forethought's gone into things like the panels and the grey. But that's about it, really. I don't really know what I want the end of the yellow. I don't know, that'd be a bitch to paint. Maybe like a nice blue. Then we go for a blue tipped hunter killer. And then black. A lighter grey. Ugh, I hate having to think about this shit. Okay. Oh, I need the red out because I haven't done all the cabling. That's something else. So this stream is also, as much as it is for creating content again, it's also to discipline myself, so I can keep like churning guys out, because I've got a very busy year for the Heresy. So I've already booked in to do I've got 4 events in the first 4 months, and a painting course and an open day. So I'm keeping myself very busy, hobby-wise, which is great. But it means that I've really got to stay on top of things like painting, so that I'm not just constantly eventing or painting for events, because I really want to stop doing that. I want to stop rushing things for events and start painting maybe well, now that I've got armies, I just have to paint a unit for an event. Because there are so many units I've rushed over the past sort of year and a half, where it's been like, yeah, but I've got to have it done for the event. And I'm kind of ready to not do that anymore. And that's what this militia are all about now. They're just about taking my time, having a bit of fun, painting something different. Now what you might notice is they are armed with multi-melters. So that is a Heresy specific loadout for Sentinels. And where something is Heresy specific on plastic kits, I'm trying to sort of encourage myself to do that. So I've built myself a Lehman Russ Demolisher. And in the Heresy, they can change out the heavy bolter for a multi-laser for free. So I've done so. So I've obviously taken the multi-laser from the Sentinel kits and repurposed it to a front coaxial sort of style thing for the Lehman Russ, which was definitely a good idea. I think I'm pretty pleased with how that's come out. Actually, I'll show you in a minute once I've done a bit more painting. Trying to keep everything nice and simple. Red cables is nice and easy. The classic don't touch that red. Just about taking time. Trying desperately not to sort of like totally fuck it up. Right, what else have we been up to? I suppose I said I'd talk a little bit about the holiday. So, well, the holidays. So it's the Christmas period, obviously. And that is actually where I got these 2 Sentinels, a lovely gift from my parents. They basically said, oh, we know you want some models. Are there any sort of smaller models that you want to pick up that we can get for you? Knowing that Forge World is not cheap. So I said, yeah, Sentinel would be lovely. But they picked up 2, which was fantastic. So I'm 2/3 of the way to getting myself the unit, because you need 3 to run a unit of Sentinels in the Heresy, which is fine, I don't mind. I wanted 3 anyway, so it's just a really nice starting block for me to build up that squad. And the whole squad is going to be multi-melter hunter-killer missile launcher. So again, something pretty Heresy-ish, pretty unique. And whilst the multi-melter is not necessarily the strongest option, given it's a one-shot ballistic skill 3 weapon, poor Imperial Militia, it'll still, I believe, get work done, especially in mass. Once you take quite a few, you're rolling quite a few dice. And I always think, well, one day I'll have a squad of 9, or I'll have a max squad of whatever unit I want to paint. So 9 Sentinels or multi-melters would be pretty fun. Not that I won't do other squads with other loadouts, but for now, I like the idea of multi-melters, and that's kind of what I'm sticking with. And when they're done, when I've done the 3, I'll decide whether I want to do a few more of these, or whether I want to do las cannons, or missile launchers, or heavy flamers. Now, combat blades, I would love to put on, or at least magnetize the options for, because they will be lances. Because the lore behind my militia is they're a feudal world where it's very much sort of medieval in its nature, especially with things like challenges and tourneys and a knight's conduct. You could almost say almost Bretonian-esque. It's Mike from Courage Lucilicis. He says, "Are they the Robo Chickens?" They are the Robo Chickens indeed. Working my way through. I refer to them as Robo Chickens because of their poses. It's hard not to. They are basically Robo Chickens. Yeah, so the combat blades will all be lances, which will be super fun. So I'll be able to do some underslung lances, almost knightly-esque, and have a bit of fun with that. Oh dear. But in the meantime, before all that exciting stuff, we've got to block in all the cables. There's like 4 on each Sentinel that are really obvious, and they're the ones I want to get done because you can see them. Can't see it unless you fussed. But it just breaks up the metallics too, which is always sugar, a good thing. I can never find where I put my tissue. Oh, there it is, miles away, naturally. Just check. Can you hear me all right, Mike? Is everything all right volume-wise? I don't know if I've got my microphone. It's so ghetto, but it's over there. So fingers crossed it's coming through okay. It was in a test record, but that doesn't mean anything. Silver. Loud and clear and no buffering. No buffering? No buffering? I don't think that's what YouTube is telling me. Bloody hell. Oh, that's me watching it back, maybe. Oh my god. Have I finally cracked live streaming? No buffering is unreal. Unless that's sarcasm, in which case that's heartbreaking, but there we go. Oh, sugar. Also trying to put paints away as I go, because I'm very familiar. As I said buffering, it started to buffer. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. Right. We are getting there though. Slowly forging ahead. Well, I don't say ahead, that's probably a stretch. Mike is also on this painting course that I'm very excited for in January. I'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. There's only a couple of things, sorry, I said that away from the microphone. I'll talk about the painting course in a bit, but there are a few things I wanted to talk about during the stream. Painting course being one of them, getting back into YouTube was the other. I'll just quickly focus on these skulls and then I can. What's that? A GW model with a skull on it? Never. Never. There we go. I've got to say these models are great fun to build. they were probably some of the most fun kits I've put together from GW ever. I think in terms of plastic kits, they're probably my favourite. Okay, just a quick highlight there, just to break that up as well. Well, luckily, no dropped frames according to Thingy Bob. That was clear, according to XSplit. So clearly the computer's working fine, and it's just the internet that is struggling a smidgen. But that's alright, I can live with that. Right, now time to do some freehand work, which I am not keen on. Every Auspex needs an X and Y axis. So let's try and do that, I think. Oh dear, this is going to be rough. Especially doing it on camera, you're all going to see me absolutely fuck it up. Oh well, I'll be fine. Let's get out the mini brush. 98% CPU. Oh, it's reached the 100. Love it. It's like a mini game. Shit. Jesus, I hate this so much. I just get so shaky when I'm trying to do detail work. Beep, boop. Right, that's better than leaving it blank at least. It's not perfect, but it's not. Oh god, above. Right, yeah, I do appreciate this is actually like super shit for you to hear. Just me occasionally swearing under my breath and making an ass of myself. But I'm almost there. Right, that'll do for now. We've made the little window shapes, and I can stick some white dots on there or something for some screen glare or whatever. That'll do for now. One of my favourite phrases in the hobby, that is, that'll do. Right, let's put that one back. Right. Also, how's the camera set up, by the way? Because this is flipped, so that obviously the camera is actually that way, which is really unusual because obviously normally it's reversed, but I flipped it so that you can see it exactly as I would see it, which makes it easier for me to manoeuvre. So hopefully that's all clear and everything, and it's not poo. There we go. There's a little skull on his hat. Whew. Robo chickens, hard work, but worth it in the end when they're done. And they're some of the coolest like little walkery models kicking about. So it's nice to be working towards something. How's the computer managing? Well, it's clearly still going to. YouTube is still a work in progress. But like I say, there's no buffering my end, which means that when I do go to record videos, we'll be back at the high quality that I used to do a couple of years ago, which is bad because obviously you should always be improving. But when you take a long break, it's nice to come back and hit the ground running. Excellent. Right. Oh dear. Drink the last of my apple juice and figure out what we're going to do next. I wonder if I'm in a position to glue the canapes on yet. Obviously don't want to rush it, but equally I kind of want them on so I can get a feel for how they're looking. I mean, the bodies are done. The buttons on the inside. I think I'm at that time. which is good, I guess. And then I'm starting to get somewhere now. So out comes a toothpick again. Really handy just having like a big bunch of toothpicks on hand if you're like me and you need to stay cheap. Right. Oh dear. I absolutely adore Gorilla Glue, but I just never ever managed to make a bottle last. The lid last until the end of the glue's lifetime. It just never happens. And then we play the delicate game of can we place the canapé without entirely fucking it up? The answer is no. Ah, sugar. Hey, we're there. There we go. Now we can start to piece them together. Not actually piece them together, but you know what I mean. Like visually speaking, I can start to see what it'll look like because I've got some blue tack underneath, so I can get a feel for how they're looking, which is always nice because there's nothing harder when you're doing a sub-assembly than not seeing progress. I hate not seeing progress, and you just sat there like, oh, why isn't it working? I can't see if the paint job works. I can't see if the pose works. So blue tack and patience make for very good friends when you're doing sub-assemblies. Oh shit. Tabletop banter, family friendly hobby advice. Ah, poo. See, I've had this is the minor issue I've had recently. Ah, come on. Right, there we go. It's been very taxing to get these things to line up because his bloody feathered hat, as you might see, he has a feathered hat and it sticks out over the top, but it doesn't really stick out very much over the top. So trying to get this thing to line up properly has been a bloody nightmare. But I think just enough glue has stayed on. So that's both canapes done. You can see I've gone for a bit of variation in canapes. I've chopped off some bits here and there just to make this one a bit more open and this one a bit more shielded. And I'll probably use elements of the armoured sentinel things to provide variety when I go through to build the rest of the squad. But like I said, we're pretty much getting there with the canapes now. I've got the lights to do. I've got a bit of edge highlighting that I want to do by brush. And hunter killers, most importantly, they need doing. But most other things, sort of, I've got the bases covered. So I'm going to put this on one side for now, and we're going to crack on with the bases, ironically. And we are going to apply some purple because all Legion tank bits on the bases will belong to Emperor's Children. Because that's the Legion that my Iron Hands have the fiercest rivalry with. And since these guys weren't ever allied with Word Bearers, I best make them capable of allying with the Iron Hands. Because I'd like to start using them, obviously, prior to having just a militia army. Which may or may not happen one day, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I want a pure militia army, but I mean, I might be able to get the army up and running before needing to ally them. But that's very unlikely, though. So in terms of basing, I'll go over this more when I do a showcase for the finished units, but it's just a big layer of cork and some sand and super glue and a couple of vehicle bits. So on this one I've got like a bit of a back hatch of a rhino, obviously got the a bit of rhino here as well, and some other miscellaneous bits and bobs. So let's base coat these rhino panels. And whilst I do this, it's a slightly more simple thing than trying to glue on this the canapé before. I'm going to talk a little bit about the painting course. So, Harry, myself, and obviously Mike, who's been in the chat, have managed to grab tickets to the first ever Martin Waller painting course at the XFC. It's the first painting course they've run, and I believe it's his first course, but he has hobby credentials. I think 10 or 11 golden demons and a slayer sword, so he clearly knows what he's doing. And Jody knows him and has suggested he's a lovely chap as well, so can't go far wrong there. But he's doing a brushwork, basic brushwork course, going over things like glazing and edge highlighting and some techniques that I'd like to sort of pick up and brush up on. Oh no. Because they're just things that you kind of take for granted, I think, and I'd like to be able to do some things properly. Like, I've never really known how to brush glaze, so to be able to know how to do that would be really good. And just sort of consistencies, you know, you learn about paint consistency a bit better, rather than just trial and error like I do normally. There might be a better way to do it. So, an opportunity to pick up a few techniques, and also it's the most value for money painting course I've ever seen. So my biggest qualm with painting courses in the past has been you pay 100 plus quid to go on the course, and then you buy all the paint yourself, and you buy the models yourself, and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm just like, oh Jesus, it's just a big investment. And you think, well, am I going to get 90 quid's worth of painting advice, or 100 and something quid's worth of this? Plus I've got to get models I wouldn't normally buy, paints I might not need to use ever again. And you just start to think, well, is it really a worthwhile investment? Now the beauty of this course is this first one is £90, I think 90, and for that you get the models, the paints included, and a day's tuition sort of thing, and it's maxed out to 10 people, so it'll be 10 people sharing the knowledge. It works out to roughly an hour each, I think, if you look at the plan for the day. So to me it was a no-brainer, an absolute no-brainer. And thankfully Harry spotted me the money, because at that time I didn't have a job, and I was like, oh, we'll see what happens with work and that. He's like, look, I know you'll have a job soon, just pay me back. So, what a legend. At Tales of New Aurora on Instagram, the other half of Tabletop Antics, well, the other half, other quarter, because even he says he doesn't do much work. But well, I mean, to be fair, he's done as much as I have lately, so let's not nitpick. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun course. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting the brush out again, sort of, and trying to learn a couple of new techniques. I have become incredibly reliant on airbrushing, and that's fine. I don't mind that, to be honest. It's a tool to use. In the same way we become reliant on phones and we become reliant on cars, it's not a bad thing. It's just sometimes it's nice to go for a walk, you know. And I don't think you can ever really get to the top sort of painting level without knowing how to handle a brush better than I do. So I'm not saying I'd ever like to get there. Well, no, not saying I ever will get there, because I'm not as arty as others. So Harry's got like a natural eye, and some people have that natural eye. That's sort of like, okay, colour goes here, right, got you. I'm slightly less good at that than my peers, perhaps. And my brush control is arguably atrocious. So I've been told a lot, actually, it's not very good when I've done streams in the past, and someone's like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" But I get tabletop decent results. You know, the armies look presentable, so I'll take that. But I'd like to push it a bit, so that's why I'm doing the course. Naturally, no one goes on these courses to not improve. But not only that, great group of guys are going. I know most of them in one facet or another, whether it be purely from things like Instagram, where it's made that connection between hobbyists so close, more so than YouTube did, like when I was into YouTube. So that's partly why Instagram has been a bigger part of my hobby than YouTube has lately, because you just get that instant almost connection with someone. You're like, oh my god, I recognise that army. Oh yeah, I've seen it on Instagram, and that's something you hear all the time at heresy events now. It's really funny, actually. Right, there we go. That's the first layer done, so we'll let that dry properly and then go back over it again. How is YouTube coping with the stream? The ultimate question. Well, it's not red. It is buffering, but it's not red. It's orange, which is new. It used to just be red or green, so clearly we're moving up. Or YouTube is being kinder to us. As for videos, I'm just going to take a minute. I don't really know what stuff I want to do yet. I do know that I want to do roughly a video a week, and that might include or might not include the live stream. But one of the things I really want to do is I want to revisit doing themed weeks, because I had so much fun when I had my maybe second year on YouTube doing a Dark Angels week. So I want to do themed weeks, and I want to plan out all 7 videos and sort of just push out 7 really good videos once a day. Now, it's likely the first one will be something like Word Bearers Week, and I'll just do some painting tips or something like that, or go over how I paint my stuff, or talk about the unit review, looking at special characters, looking at the Forge World models. I'd like to do a battle report in there, a full battle report, for when I do these themed weeks. So back in Dark Angels Week, that was yonks ago. You can look at it up. I mean, it was tragically bad quality for videos. It was still me, so it was just as bad in that respect too, but the video quality was even worse. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed having a themed week, so I think that's something I'd like to do going forwards. I'd love to do an Imperial Militia themed week with Harry, because obviously he's had experience playing Militia, and we could do a Militia off at some point in the future. But themed weeks are something I'd like to do. So expect to see something like that. They won't be regular. It won't be like once a month or anything like that. It might be once a quarter. Probably maybe even less than that, maybe just 3 or 4 a year. But it was something really fun, and it puts a nice sort of target in mind. So this Word Bearers Week probably won't happen until like a couple of months into next year, because I can then record the videos, log it, record it and log it, and then just schedule them all one after the other for a whole week, which would be really fun, I think. Just one of the things I'd like to bring back to the channel, because I don't have a direction. I've said this ages ago. I don't want to make videos if I don't have a direction for them. I'm so tired of not having a direction for it, so I thought I'll do some temporary short run sort of objectives almost, and we'll see how it goes from there. But also, yeah, it gives me an opportunity to get a bit more involved, which is always nice, obviously. Right, what's next? Second base coat. Cracking on. 20 minutes left on this one, I think. I'm trying to do roughly an hour for the stream length, because I think any longer I'm bored and tired, and I always end up needing the loo like I do at the moment. But I can hold it for 20 minutes, but much longer, not so sure. It's the problem with being absolutely full of shit. Right. This doesn't need to be too specific. There we go. We're getting there. Just firming up the base tone. Oosh. Luckily, it's really warm in here, so the paint's drying very quickly. So I don't have to wait too long between base coats. We're getting there. There we go, purple's done. That's a bit of colour, I like that. I like that a lot. Whew. What else have we got to get sorted on these chaps? The hunter killers. Is that about it now? Tell you what, probably stick on the canapé kind of time soon, which is exciting. I think I'll do that for the end of the video. Ooh, stick on the canapé. But I'm at that point now where I'm pretty much I've accessed the base as much as I need to access it without sort of I've got the base goes down on that. So I need to get something a little diggy. Here we go. Just to get the diggy, to get the blue sack out, the white tank. Of course, once I've built it all anyway, I'll still have more to do afterwards. So I've got to varnish it, do transfers, do weathering, you know, all sorts. So it's not, whilst it'll be finished, it won't be finished. That's the, you know, it'll be playable. That's the next step for these guys. I like the look of that. Oh man, I'm so excited. I love being excited by models. It doesn't happen all the time, but it certainly is with these militia. Where's the glue? I don't think I have too many issues when painting this with this on. So if that's screw waiting to the end of the video, let's just do it now. Right, okay, just bear with me. Sorted, sorted-ish. And then the other one, which obviously has to look the other way. Just like Tactical Marine Squads, half them have to look left, half them have to look right. Just for the sake of variety. Oh, sugar. Come on. This is fiddly. I am close to getting there now. That'll do. Right. So close. Let's get the second sentinel on. Right, there we go. Pose is sorted. Bloody hell. Whew, sorry about that. I went all quiet because I was a bit like stressy trying to get it to sit where it needs to sit. One of my least favourite things in the world is seeing a very, very forward-heavy sentinel. So it was very important that I make sure that not happen. And as it hasn't, I'm pretty pleased to say. I will just let that set a bit. But there's a sentinel, sort of. Rah. Watch out for the robo chickens. Gosh, okay. That is definitely setting. Okay, good. Last thing I wanted was to absolutely fuck it up. So don't get me wrong, still loads of work to do on them, but I tend to put my sub assemblies together early, just so I get a better feel for where I need to put things. Judging a full composition of a miniature, I mean these are only sentinels and only top, but you know what I mean. Judging that composition is much harder to do when it's in parts, so I decided to do this. Hunter Killer though, that's the only thing I'm a bit stuck on. I think this pose was a little funky. Right, I've got to get down to eye level because I can't tell. That's okay. I just really want to avoid the like autocannon pointing down at the ground look that half the sentinels you see have. But I'm pretty happy with that, and I think I can start doing these hunter. See, that's the issue I've got now. This base is a bit bent, so it leans back a little bit. but it's not that bad. Right, anyway, I digress. Let's crack on with these hunter killers. I'm going to go for like a blue-grey. Sort of using the Fang. So, oh yeah, I don't know if you've seen this. I put my Citadel bottles in dropper bottles. Citadel paints in dropper bottles, just because I find it easier to work with. Right. Let's keep going. See if I can get these base coats done, and the model mostly finished by the end. Well, no, the basic bit's done prior to the end of this stream. I always forget I have this paint, and I really like it. That's the front part done. Right. I think another thing I'll probably be doing in this new year, in terms of video content wise, will probably be a few more sort of build and paint logs for a start, because I've done none in ages. But I'd also like to start looking at. Jesus, that's big paint. I'd also start to looking at sort of events and stuff, because I go to enough, but I don't really talk about them. Outside of the podcast one anyway. So maybe a couple of event reviews, not necessarily a review of the event. That sounds bad, but you know, like review of my event, what I got out of it, is more what I'm getting at there. How's that great look? Could be worse. Man, I need to just sort of figure out what I want to do. It's always so confusing, this part. Oh, hello, they just touched melter tips. Bright side, it's starting to look a lot more tabletop. I think if I black rim the base, no one would have any complaints to me playing these, so that's good. Oh no, the flag needs doing actually before I can make that claim. Oh, maybe I'll go for a lighter blue flag. Oh, the rust grey. Ah, we'll go for that. Now I know how I want to paint the flag. That is, you know, I put a lot of thought and effort into model composition, paint composition, you know, where paint colours are applied. I definitely didn't just come up with half of it on the spot and go, oh, that would look nice. Oh dear. Yeah, that's the right colour. This is a very thin paint. This will need definitely more than one application. As you should, obviously 2 thin coats and all that, but one thick coat, no harm, obviously. All the best do one thick coat. There we go. That's the colour. I'm happy with that. Happy with that indeed. Obviously, I'm not done, but you can get an idea for it now. I can get an idea for it now. But, where am I putting everything else? to be honest, I think I need to sit down and have a look at this now. So I'm getting to that point where it's probably the end of the stream. Oh, there we go, a couple of minutes. Right, I'll call it early. Only because, well, early. I'll call the painting early. Only because I'm at a position now where I need to sort of sit down and have another think about what I need to add. I kind of had a list of things I wanted to do for this stream bit, and I've done them, so that's good. Obviously, the idea of the stream is working. The reason I sort of started it and wanted to do this again was to really get me back on track paint-wise and just tick off a couple of things. Because sometimes I sit down and I just dick about. I just pick up the model, I look at it, and then put it down again. I think every time I do that, I'm not painting. Whereas this gives me such an opportunity to paint properly over and over again by having a semi-regular stream. So, thanks ever so much for watching. I'm obviously going to watch this stream back when it's uploaded to check for sort of video quality and stuff like that, and things I can change. There are things I can't change, like the internet connection, but there will be things I can change to make a difference. So, be patient. I have to be as well. Because we're gonna get through this. All right, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get something at the end of maybe the end of January where I've got some sort of semi-regular schedule going, and hopefully have some sort of end of January announcement of my first themed week, because that would be really fun. I'd like to do that properly. So anyway, thanks ever so much for watching, guys. If you're new, as you probably will be, because I think 90% of my old viewers are probably left now. If you are new, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave those comments below, and hopefully we will see you in the next one. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for being active, Mike, because it was nice to have a little bit of company while I did this. Anywho, I will catch you in the future, I suppose. Bye for now.